Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 50th episode of the 505 podcast. A trio of one-handed cracks to start us off. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I wasn't ready.
Not bad. No dents. No dents all around.
No dents.
I had a little bit of a hezzy. We're just going to go crazy eights for the boys.
Crazy eights.
There it is.
God, I've been wanting to drink this for like an hour and a half.
Come on, long pour. That's what I'm talking. Oh, and it's going to spill. God, I'm so happy. So happy to be back with you guys.
That's great, dude. Just the last little splurt. The last splurt never goes where you think it's going to go, as a rule.
Is that
we'll clean that up later.
What are you drinking?
Not vodka.
Not vodka.
Yeah, so we had just a terrible weekend. So
probably a good and then bad.
No, yeah, it was super fun. Frat fig isn't a thing anymore. I'm not 21.
Got to hang up the drinking shoes.
Not 21 anymore, and I thought I was.
It's funny because before Braden left for the day, I was like, "Yeah, what are you doing today?" He's like, "Dude, frat fig's back."
Was this for Oregon State? Is that why? Or?
Yeah. We went to my friend's house. We were watching the game.
Crazy game.
It was
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, it was just a tough day. I mean, we shouldn't really high five.
Don't remind me, man. It was terrible. But we go out to the little pregame action. Mm-hmm. I don't drink very often. Right. Very seldomly. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? We're gonna have a great day today. Nice. And I was pounding some shots, having a good time. Nice. And then when we got to the bungalow, a classic, I was like, seeing two people.
Yep.
Not supposed to see two people.
Twins.
Yep, twins. Yep. So then we get back in the Uber, and I'm coming back home. The Uber guy was super nice. He totally could have abducted me. Mm-hmm. And we get back in the Uber. It was a window down Uber ride.
Oh, we've all been there.
Head out the window, dude. Like and he goes, "Are you good?" I go, "Drive the car." So he gets me home, and I literally wake up, and I'm like doing a lean to like get in to like walk into the house, like one of those leans. You know what I'm talking about? Finally, get to the front door. And then I realized when I hit the front door, I go, oh, this isn't good. I'm going to throw up. I don't think we could have the slowest elevator in all of the west side of Los Angeles.
It takes a legitimate 30 seconds.
No, it's like a minute,
It's almost, it's like 45 sometimes. Really? It's insane. Oh, especially if you have to wait for it. If it goes 505.
Oh, it was at the third level. And I was like, I can't take the stairs. Definitely can't take the stairs. No. Thing comes down. I'm like getting in and I'm like, okay, come on. Open the door, get the keys. They're like shaking. Run through the front door, just bust through the front door, throw the keys, slip and fall right as I walk in. Slip and fall right as I walk in the bathroom, just threw up all over the floor. And I was like, all over my Siegelman Stables hat, dude, I just got that hat. I washed it though. It's fine. It's back. It's back in action. But dude, then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, why did you, one more step? Yeah. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, if the Uber driver didn't stop at that stop sign, we would have made it.
Right.
Dude.
Well, no, I don't think it works like that.
It doesn't work like that. I think
it's all your body. You know how like when you have to poop really bad and then the closer you get to your house, you just have to poop. The second your butt touches the fucking thing, it comes out. It doesn't happen like that by circumstance, dude. You know what I mean? It's not like if you would have stopped at the stop sign, your butt, the poop would have come out a minute later.
I swore I had it, dude. And I was like, oh my God. And then I just went back into bed, and then I hear Kostas comes home like an hour later, and he goes, "Oh my God, like what happened in the bathroom?"
So Chloe texted me, and I was like, "Yo, where you guys at?" Because I was out with some friends, and she's like, "Yeah, Braden went home. I'm out. Braden's down pretty bad." I was like, "Damn, okay." So I walk in, I go into Braden's room. He's like passed out on his bed. I walk to my room or whatever, and then I think I come out to like make some food. And I was like, oh, like the bathroom's like slightly cracked. So I like open it and I see I see it far before I see it close. I'm like, oh, I see some throw up on the ground. And then I open it, I'm like, oh my God.
It's like it was like a whole baby.
The whole floor was covered and it reeked.
Terrible. Awful. It was so bad,
dude.
And then I had to go clean that shit up, dude. And I had to suck it up, and I was so sick. And then I missed Brenda's family photos the next day. Dude.
It's always like a parent thing the next day. Is when you get
my God! And then I was up till 7 a.m. I watched the sunrise. I was like, this sucks. And all I wanted to do was get a Sprite. And I go over there. We don't have any Sprite. And I was like, I can't wake up Kostas. I can't wake up Chloe. They're all really sleepy and tired. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to suck this one up. Didn't have any saltines, so I just raw dogged the night. And then I woke up at 10 to a text and a call from my mom and dad. I immediately realized, I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Brenda was pissed. She's like, I'll just Photoshop you in.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, oh, Mom, Brenda, I'm so sorry.
Not the time you want to be missing out.
I couldn't have even done it. There's no chance I would have even made it down. I was
No,
dying.
Well, it's
you would have died in the car.
yeah.
I'm glad you did it.
We're just
honestly,
like, we're
but-
pretty close to Christmas and like,
Yeah, you gotta start doing that.
you gotta stay on
family
the nice
stuff.
list.
I'm an
Yeah.
idiot, dude.
Dude, here's the thing though, is what, speaking from experience, if you were in Eugene, you might have been able to pull it off.
I think so too.
Because I was just in Madison and we started drinking at 8 a.m. for the 2:30 game.
It changes you.
And we made it out till 2 a.m. Dude, we
boy.
didn't think we were going to be able to do that. We thought after the game, we're like, all right, we're going to go back to the hotel. We're going to take some naps, whatever. But then my brother's like, I'm really hungry. So then we ate. And all of a sudden, you know, we were eating and like having maybe like just like a drink, see what it's like. And then all of a sudden, we're like, you know, we could play darts. And I'm like, yeah, let's go out now and then go to bed early. 2 a.m., dude. And then it might make you feel better. 4-hour drive back to Minneapolis, where we were from Madison. My brother pukes the whole way. He could just puke the whole way. So he likes to puke in the woods, which is funny. I probably shouldn't say this, but whatever. And so we just like every like 30 minutes, he'd be like, gotta find some woods. And then I'd pull over the car. You'd run to the woods, puke, come back. And we just keep going.
My God.
So a lot of people are puking, dude.
It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. But I'm getting ready now because we are headed off we're going on the road, baby.
Nice.
7,
yeah.
Frat Fig.
8.
Frat Fig.
He's gone.
On the road.
Yeah, he is retired. 8-day. We have an 11-day road trip, I think, that we're going on Thursday. So I'm shooting the game tomorrow. Can't remember who we play. It's gonna be a good game. Haven't packed it all, and then I'm gonna pack. I got yerba mates. It should be here any minute. And I'm gonna take 16 yerba mates.
Kostas just remembered something.
Yeah, what'd you remember big?
Well, no, I was gonna say, like AD's been balling, Lakers have been playing really
Yeah,
well. It's gonna be
yeah.
like exciting to
It's
go
gonna
on
be
this road
super
trip.
fun.
We watched the game last night and they just lose on the most ridiculous buzzer beater 3.
Oh, who did they play last night?
We lost the Pacers.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was a great game. I
Yeah,
thought we
but they
had
have
them.
been kind of turning it on.
We're gonna
Yeah.
I think we're gonna come out of this road trip, dude. 7-0. It's
If you
gonna be
can
awesome.
get, I mean, I won't say anything.
We're gonna crush. We're gonna crush on the
I think
road
it'll
trip.
be okay.
And dude, and we released at like V2 of the course, so now we're
Oh.
teaching a new group of rocks the
Wow.
sports stuff, all the stuff.
Oh, fucking crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
it's been fun. It's been super fun. So we're working on tons of cool stuff, and this is going to be like, unfortunately, this is our last episode for a
Yeah.
while because
You're leaving too.
Yeah.
you're literally leaving for.
So yeah, last episode.
Last episode of the 505 podcast, season 1.
Season 1.
Come on.
So yeah, the Rocks are leaving, and we decided because of like the holidays and us not being able to be together. This is episode 50, perfect time to kind of like
year.
wrap it. Yeah. So this is episode 50. It's really crazy that we've been doing this for a year, and we've
dude.
stayed pretty damn consistent
Yeah,
with it.
yeah, we did really nice.
There's 52 weeks in the year, and we did 50.
Yeah.
Come on. And I think we might have like lagged on 2 weeks, so it's
Yeah.
probably been exactly a year since we started this,
Yeah.
which is pretty fucking crazy. So yeah, that's the end of season 1. Well, it's not ended just now. We have a whole episode ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but what do we got coming in season 2?
Bigger guests,
Ooh,
merch.
Come on.
bigger rocks.
I'm fucking stoked for merch. You guys have been asking for it, and I'm hyped because the guy that's designing our merch is Henry, who we had on the pod, and he is so cool. He's designed merch for Jack Harlow, Bozzy, Lil Nas X. He's legit at graphic
dude,
design.
legit.
And
Legit at everything.
The XX guy on the Instagram.
Check him out.
And we wanted to come out with merch at the right time. We didn't want to we wanted to take our time with it, and we wanted to have cool designs. We didn't want it to just say like the 505 podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
We want it to be borderline like a clothing brand that you guys would want to rock. It still is going to have, touches of like camera
Creator.
And this pod, but it's not just going to be like the 505. Yeah.
It's going to be dope merch, and we're excited for it. I've wanted to put out merch forever.
I just want to like wear it for
Yeah.
like for what we talking about.
I
I wish I
wait.
could just put that shirt on for
I
this
cannot wait.
shoot I have
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I mean?
January can't come soon enough, baby. New year, we are coming in hot. Tons
New
of
year,
stuff.
new gear. Come on,
there
dude.
it is.
Yeah,
There
you
it
like
is.
that?
I like that.
Okay,
Should
wait.
be an announcement.
Before we get into like our favorite moments of this year or of this past year in the pod, can you guys hit me with like one New Year's resolution that you guys have?
Ooh, hit it. I'm going to be the best golfer that you've ever seen.
I love that, dude.
That you've ever seen. I've been going all the time, dude.
You know what I'm going to try to do?
My clubs are right over there.
I know. Oh, I looked at them earlier. I wanted to metaphorically. No, actually, you know what I actually do want to do?
Tell me.
I have 2 goals.
Okay.
I want to do 10,000 push-ups. I looked it up. You need to
How
do
many?
27 and a half a day. So it's pretty doable
That's super doable.
in a year. 10,000.
Whoa, I mean, it's doable for
a guy with giant chest muscles,
I don't
tiny
know.
everything
I don't
else.
know if it's doable for Brandon over here. He's looking awfully small.
My other
I've
goal,
traded getting jacked for doing good golf.
I have a group goal with some college buddies that
That's
were
the equivalent of fucking fast walking a marathon.
Oh yeah, just walking as fast as you possibly could. We're gonna row. Wait, what? We're metaphorically gonna row like on the rowing machine separately, because we all like live in different places. We're gonna try to row from, I think it's like California to Hawaii or something like
That
that.
is funny.
Like as a team, so we all like
In a
send in
day?
our
Like in a day?
No. Just like over the course of like I can't remember. I think a year. It's fucking far.
Okay.
And rowing, I've been hitting the rowing machine a little bit, and we like send in like how far you've gone, and it sucked because I did like 10 minutes and I made like pretty far. I can't remember how many meters, but like decent. I was like pretty pumped. Like I thought the group would be pumped about this. And then my buddy Jacob, who's just like a fitness man, just sends like 45 minutes, like halfway to Hawaii already. And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Dude, we're there. Where are we going next?
Yeah, what's good at Tahiti?
No, that was, so we're going to row from California to Hawaii, and then we're all going to go to Hawaii and like camp there. It's like actually go there
that's
eventually.
great.
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny
That'll be
little
fun.
thing.
Little
Yeah.
rowing in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is also fitness related. I'm just like, I'm trying to become an absolute unit in 2023.
Just a weapon.
That was last year's resolution, I thought.
It's my resolution every year.
Yeah.
If anyone's wondering.
But this
Never
year
hit.
we actually made some sort of moves towards
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
made some gains.
Yeah, made some
For
gains.
sure, dude.
Made gains, lost them, kind of getting them back
Yep.
as we speak.
Yep.
And I think it's gonna be the year I get in the best shape of my life.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Hell
Unless
yeah.
I get injured, which happens every time.
We're gonna clip this when you're jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make
Either
it-
you're jacked or you're like super fat, which would be way funnier. You should get fat for the bit.
I can't get fat to save my life.
No,
like
no.
I'm trying to put on weight. It's hard.
I think I found it. I think I can do it. Yeah. There were a couple weeks where I was like, oh, I could get fat if I really turn things around.
I love it.
So as this episode is so special to us because we went back and we pulled, and Keon helped us, obviously.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out Keon. He's going to get some food with the merch coming out. So as this year's like wrapping up, we went back all the best moments from the pod that we picked out. So big number one coming in. This one's been bugging me, dude.
Yeah,
we
I know
had
it
to
has
talk
been.
about this.
We've talked about it a lot.
Yeah, we've talked about this off the pod a lot.
Yeah.
This is Jordan Kahana's one-handed crack. Take it away, Jordan.
Okay. Difficulty level 7. No way. No way.
No way.
I don't know what to say about this. One hand, it's cracked, no dents.
Did you dent
Never
it? Spin it
before
around.
seen.
Spin it around.
I don't know what to say.
Can I set it down and show you guys?
9-1.
What is this?
9-1.
Wow.
9-1.
Highest score I've ever heard.
I love Jordan. Okay. But this has been just eating away at me for months.
I mean, incredible guest.
incredible guest. Great story.
Do you feel like upon further review, maybe the rules and regulations of your sanctity game?
I think that I kind of ruined the integrity of this whole thing by giving out a 9 on that because to be fair, the one-handed crack, it has to be with one hand.
It's called the
It's called the
one-handed
one-handed crack,
crack.
not the one-handed teeth. And like, it's just like he messed it up, and I just gave it out. I just folded under pressure because I wanted the pod to be good, and I didn't want him to hate me off the bat.
And he was he was a little nervous, and he didn't know if it would fly.
Exactly. No, if it was trying a new thing. So upon further review, I'm gonna have to lob out an NA because
Yeah,
it
fair.
it just it didn't adhere to the rules,
Yeah.
and people were super pissed off. I had so many DMs, and they were like, "Dude, you lobbed out a 9," and I was like, "All right, fuck you guys. I'm gonna actually drop the hammer on all these shitty cracks you guys have been sending me because dude, people have been sending me charity cracks, and then when I say 3-4, they're like, you're an asshole, and I'm like,
Right.
I'm not an asshole. You're just not doing the crack rate.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sorry about it. It can't have a dent. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you those. It can't have a dent. It's
No.
got to be off the table. It's
Yeah.
got to be with one hand. And to be perfectly in the 9s now, do you see that? You have to do that with one finger. You got to flip the thing back and forth
push it back.
to
I like
be
that.
in the 9s.
I like that.
That has to be it.
Yeah.
And no dents, clean crack. If it's a bonus point, if you're in a pretty place, and that are the rules. That's the rules of the one-handed crack.
Yeah.
I love how passionate you are
Yeah.
about it.
No,
Yeah.
I've really thought about it because everyone's like, "Oh, let me see the rules and that's the rules and regulations."
I
for
like the one
one-handed crack.
if you can get a little bit of like preamble. Like I like when it's like a pan of like something fun.
If
and
you,
then,
dude, if you spin it, like even more bonus
Sure.
points. That's like cool, but it has to be flush. Flush to be in the 9s. Got to be like damn near perfect. 10s don't exist.
I'm really excited to see what the Rocks come up with these one-handed cracks.
Yeah.
get wild with it.
Tag us in some stories, dude.
So the next clip is our good friend Tyler Babin, and he shares a story of what it was like when he left Vayner, why he left Vayner to start his residency with Adobe.
That exact reason was the hardest thing that took me to actually step away from it. And it was a piece of advice from Gary. And it was like one of my favorite things he ever said is that like, especially in your 20s, you need to go the most high risk that you possibly can. He's like, throw everything against the wall, because if it all goes to shit, you're still really young and you can still win. And that really goes for like 20s and even 30s. I mean, you can fuck up a lot of stuff. And so
Gary's like, yeah, dude, in your 70s, bro, high risk.
You got fucking time, baby.
Patience.
Gratitude, humility, and patience. Get after it. I'm a huge Gary Vee fan, by the way, for those listening.
I think we all are, yeah.
And but yeah, so I was whenever other opportunities started coming up, if they were really high value, I was like, what would Gary say, essentially? And so that sort of addressed the walking away from like the stability thing. And it was funny because anyone who the creative residency that Adobe does, I'll give like the amended version. Essentially, Adobe pays you for a year to kind of just do whatever you want. That's not at all how my year played out. It changed a lot. Sort of midway through, I ended up speaking a lot for Adobe and just sort of was like traveling and like doing this like speaking circuit. And then I'd get home and was like exhausted from speaking. And then I was also trying to do this documentary series, but we can actually chat more about that because it's how I got the job with Hassan. But when I was kind of debating as to, should I do it? Should I not do it? I was thinking about the thing that Gary always said, which is like, be really, really reckless. And I was like, okay, this residency is only a year. So at the end of a year, I am kicked out of the job. No more money. I was like, what? Like, bro, what could happen? What if a year from now, the world's completely different? My residency ended March of 2020. So literally I was kicked out of the residency like 2 weeks after the world started shutting down, which was pretty terrifying. I know it ended right at like right when everything was getting crazy. And I was living in Manhattan at the time. So it was like, we were like scared to open the door. It was weird, but kind of leaning into that, high risk, high reward. I was able to transition immediately into just like a full-time YouTuber, like right in the middle of that. And so I was able to just make videos at home and got through that chapter.
Did you have other clients while you were doing the Adobe creative residency?
So they said it was really strict that when you were doing the residency, you couldn't do any side work. A lot of people didn't follow that rule, but I did. I was like, I am going to dedicate myself fully into this moment. And so everyone that reached out, all the clients, all the brands that want to do integrations, I was like, I can't do anything right now, but in March, I'll be a free man. Let's go. And so that actually ended up paying off really well because the residency ended. And luckily I had this list of like 15 clients that were like, we want to go right now. And so it was a pretty natural transition. But no, I fully leaned into the residency.
Yeah, my favorite part about that clip, and I think it's so true, and I think we actually all kind of live this to an extent, is like what he's saying about taking your biggest risk when you're in your 20s and you don't have a mortgage, you don't have kids, and you don't have other shit you need to worry about. Because like, it's just so true. I mean, this is the time, and it's funny because I know that Gary Vee has said this before, and I'm sure he learned this from him, and then took Gary Vee's advice to leave him, which is
leave
funny,
his company,
which is just, this is the time to start your band, to like write the script, to like fucking go for it, because you can always fucking get the marketing job, dude. Like all those jobs, they need people like crazy, and they always will. And like you need to take the risk when you can. And like when you're 30 or 40, probably 40 even, because some people make late game changes, but like, and you have kids and a mortgage and stuff, you just like, I need fat income all the time, constantly. Like I can't take the risk. And I just think that's so important. It's such like an important thing to go for, and it's scary as fuck, but like, you're never going to have a better time to do it. Yeah. So if you're going to ever send it, that's the time to send it.
And look what he's doing now. He's the creative director of Hassan Minhaj, and he's like crushing. They've sold a movie together.
They're making movies and shit.
He's a rock star, dude. Tyler Babin is just an incredible person. I really respect him a lot.
Yeah, me too, dude.
I do as well. I also think that like, even if what you try to do doesn't work out and you end up pivoting, like that adds to your story so much more, and it makes you just like way more interesting of a person.
Yes, dude. Like you're gonna be able to pick up more girls or guys when you just say like, yeah, I tried this for a while and I experienced these things, instead of being like, I got out of college, I fucking put numbers in the Excel sheet, and now I have a 401k.
Yeah.
That's not gonna get you like
And that's what we're after, especially in our 20s.
Yeah.
The more you can experience and the more you can do, it just makes you a more overall, just like well-rounded person. You have experience to pull from, stories to tell, which you can then put into your art. But yeah, like if you take a risk and it works out, amazing. And if it doesn't, it's all good, because you're still young. And when you're young is when you should be taking the most high risk, and just go for it.
Absolutely. This next clip is crazy because I don't know, when I was in college, and I know you're talking about Frat Fig. I mean, the Closer counter was wild. Like you listened to Closer 12 times a pregame. The Chainsmokers were a big deal in our college experience. And this is Danilo on our podcast talking about how he started working with the Chainsmokers, which was pretty crazy to hear. So how did you get connected with them in the first place?
Through Pete.
Okay.
They used to come to DC to do these shows for the promoter that I worked for, the club owner. And I met them. It was a small club. It was, I think, 350 cap maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I didn't know them at the time. I didn't know who they were at the time. This was before Selfie, before all that.
Before, right before Rose's situation?
Way before Roses.
Way before Roses.
Way before Roses. Probably like a year and a half or so before Roses. And I met them at the club, had a great time. I was like, man, these guys were amazing. I don't know who they were, but this was a fun night. And then months later, I saw them at a festival, and it kept happening where I saw them at a festival. I got to know them, and they came back to DC a couple more times. So there was like that bit of like, oh, hey, it's Danilo. Hey, good to see you. Like, oh, we're going to get good photos or stuff like that. And it was a year they were at Electric Zoo. They were not a headliner, but it was like, I don't know how to put it. It's like second, right third, below whatever, it. But they were at a second main stage. They were doing a mid-set because I think they were doing another show right after. And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. A mid-set, stage packed. That never happens at any festival. And obviously it's in New York, the New York guys, like their fans game. But halfway through the set, there was a thunderstorm warning and the festival shut down. The plug was pulled like halfway through the set. So they only did 30 minutes over an hour and let's say 10-minute set. But I got one photo that in our photo list was needed because that year there was no media, outside media aside from the in-house festival team to take photos. There wasn't allowed. So I was assigned to their stage because I knew them. I was like, I know them. It'll be easier this way. I saw that they wanted one photo on a list that they sent over for media, and I got that photo. Rainstorm's coming. Everything's shut down. So I go to the trailer and I'm editing. So there's nothing else to do. So I'm just going to edit. Rainstorm passes. I come out of the trailer and their manager, Alex, who's on the Chainsmokers, they're standing right outside. So I was like, oh, hey, I got your photos if you want them.
Right.
And they were just like, what, already? I was like, of course,
Yeah, lightning.
And I sent the photo over and they ended up loving it. And that's kind of like a month later, it was like, hey, do you want to come and do some shows with us? And that's how I kind of started.
Shoot your shot, dude.
Yeah, shoot shot and fucking deliver.
Yes, dude.
Shoot shot and make it.
I can relate to this so hard because there was one show that I did with Loud Luxury it was somewhere in Canada. I forgot what it was for, but it was for a festival. And it started raining right before their show. And then it ended up like clearing a little bit and then was kind of raining during their show as well. But what he was talking about, like how the photos that he got were so sick because of like the weather.
Yeah.
Like some of the photos that I got during that festival that I shot when it was raining were so sick. Like the way the lighting was coming through the clouds, it was like kind of cloudy, but kind of sunny. It made for some awesome, awesome images. And also that's wild that he started editing like right after.
Dude, he knew it.
He did. But that is something you need if you want to start shooting concerts is like turnaround time. If you have your work ethic on point and you're like, I'm not going to wait to get back to my house. If I just start editing right away, like you never know what opportunities can arise. And artists really appreciate a quick turnaround time.
Especially when you have an opportunity like that, or even like you have a freelance editing thing for like a big brand and you just like want to work with them again or whatever. Like you got to nail it on the first time, at least. Nail it on the first few and like just go balls to the walls. Like don't eat dinner after, don't do whatever. Like this is your opportunity to really impress them the first one. Like make that good impression and just like he was just like, I'm just gonna get this done as fast as possible because I want to work with them. You know what I mean? And like you can extrapolate that to a lot of things in this fucking industry.
And the man, the myth, the legend, JT Barnett.
I would not be as stoked about what I'm doing right now if I hadn't tried every other thing to realize what I don't want to do.
Absolutely.
You know, like literally like I was just saying, the health and wellness stuff, like personal training was great. There's so many things from it that I am now implementing into what I'm doing now. But I knew that once I got a taste of it, I was like, this isn't it for me right now. Then it was like reset and it was it for a little bit, but there was aspects of it that I was like, this isn't it for me now either. And now it's like, okay, I've tasted a lot of different things to know to be much more refined around what it is that I actually really want to be doing. And now I feel like I've found that. And so you have to taste things. You have to try different shit out.
Yeah.
And then it just gives you a better idea of like, okay, this is what I want to go hard into.
I also think that content in general, right? Like posting TikTok content, Instagram content, just social media in general, allows people to have a career in something they're passionate about without maybe going down the original path that they had. So take a pro athlete, for example. There's so many kids that are like, I want to be a pro athlete, and it's either majors or bust. But there's so many other ways to make a career out of something you're passionate and you love than being like the pro athlete. Like you can make content around whatever sport you're into and make a full-time career out of it. I also think it's interesting because, so I'm shooting the Loud Luxury DJ guys. I'm pretty sure like most, if not every single person on their team used to DJ, like me included.
So funny.
So it's like we all have that passion for EDM and we all used to DJ, and we're not the DJ, but like we're involved in some way, which I think is really interesting.
100%. Yeah, bro. Like I just think that you have to like really try different things out and understand. And then once you understand, then it's go really hard into that. And it's not a forever thing. Like there might be a day where I wake up and I'm just like, I don't want to do strategy anymore. And now that's not it for me, but it's got me to the place where the next thing will come. And then you move with that. And like, to your point of like you being able to build off of social media now, like I legitimately think that anybody doing anything in the world can build a brand around whatever they're doing.
Totally,
Bro, like
100%.
being a mom and being a blogger around being a mom is like one of the most monetary beneficial niches that you can be in. I think that I really think that it's looking at yourself and being like, what are the things I'm into? What are the things that I wish more people knew about? What are the things that I actually feel like I could bring value to other people? And that could literally be, that could be gaming, that could be typing, that could be whatever it is. And this is the thing that I want to talk about because I'm passionate about it, and you can figure out a way to monetize it.
There's a group of people everywhere in the world. Dude, I was literally scrolling TikTok last night. I was going to bring this up. I'm happy you brought it up for me. I'm scrolling, and you know at Pike's Place Market in Seattle, how they throw the fish or whatever? Randomly on my page, right, I get another fish guy. And I'm like, this guy's just talking about all these fucking big fish at his little fish market. And I go on his page, 400K. And I'm like, there's an audience for literally anything, dude. There's the reptile guys, there's the videographers, there's the fucking health and wellness guys. Like anybody and everybody that is passionate about anything can have a career on social media right now. And that is the craziest thing I think in our world that is happening right now. You don't have to go get a regular job if you don't want to. You can literally just make TikToks about it.
So true.
Insane.
I also love what you were saying, how you go, I might wake up tomorrow and not be into strategy anymore. I think the idea of having like, you pick a career at 18 or 22, whenever you graduate college, and that's what you're doing for the next 50 years. And then you retire and you're doing the same thing. It's like that idea is kind of out the window because of like the internet and social media. If you're like into one thing for a few years, you make a business out of it, whatever it may be, great. One day you might wake up and you're not interested anymore, and then you pivot.
Bro, 100%. And I think that our parents didn't have those options.
Yeah.
And so like I think that we're getting told that from our parents and their parents, that you work the job that you have the opportunity to work, and that's the job that you stay with, and you're happy with it, and you work that, and that's it. And I just think that the internet has just flipped that completely upside down. We have options that we didn't have before, and now it makes sense for you to be one, multi-hyphenated, and be doing multiple things at one time, testing out different things, but also do one thing for a little bit of a time, realize you don't want to do it, and pivot and do something else, and that should be fine. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just a different time now.
I think that he really exemplifies that you can try so many different things, right? Mm-hmm. He got into the content game so late. It wasn't like he wasn't like 16 posting a ton of Instagram, doing TikTok and all this shit. Like he got into it after a pro hockey career.
Right, he's playing puck, baby.
Yeah, dude, and he came back to LA and he made the Honey House, which isn't even remotely close to what he's doing now. Yeah. He's doing he has a TikTok agency. He has employees under him, and it's really cool to see. And I think that we all got to remind ourselves that like we got time to find what it is that we want to do, what it is that we don't, and we don't have to do it forever. You can get into something, do it for a little while, do it for a few years, do it for 5 years, and be like, Okay, cool. Now I want to do this said thing, and you can do it. Life is long, and I think we got to remind ourselves that we all have time.
You got to be able to pivot. Like you probably learned working with the LA Lakers. The basketball dude, that's a little low post reference. Come on, guys, that's funny. That's great. Kareem in the low post, dude, in the pivot game.
I was like, I'm at the job.
No, but yeah, I think it's so important. I also think there's a sneaky good point made by Kostas in there, talking about how a lot of people that work with like DJs and like concert photographers were initially pursuing to be a DJ, and I think that's just one. I think there's some merit to that because you want to be close to it, but also because it helps to be passionate and care about the things that you are working on as a photographer, as a videographer, etc. Like if I ever have the chance to work on like a Nike brand or whatever with like basketball or football, like I just watch a fuck ton of sports, so I'm just like naturally drawn to it. You know what I mean? It's just like fun for me to see it, or like the shoes is like cool, you know? We've
talked about pivoting like majorly in a career, right? Where you were doing something. I was trying to be a DJ and then I got into the photo video stuff, but there's times where like even as a creator you want to try making different stuff and pivoting that, right? So like there's eventually going to be a time where like maybe I don't want to shoot concerts as much and I want to pivot into a different type of photo video, and like that's okay.
Totally.
I just think that like it's you got to be willing to like take the risk and understand that it is okay to pivot
and to follow your passions. Exactly. Dude, I'm telling you guys, if you literally just scroll on TikTok, you will find 1,000 different people who are doing a bunch of random shit, who are like making full-time incomes off of said thing. You got vloggers, you got, dude, literally today I watched Aquarium of the Pacific's live for like 15 minutes. They were feeding an octopus, and it was crazy, sick. Dude. And I was like, dude, this is a whole, and then I went to the comments, and there's all these random little fish people that are like, I'm like, dude, let's go. So there really is an industry and a niche for everybody. So I'm telling you, follow the passions. Money will come. Money is a shadow. It follows your work ethic.
Ooh, that's hard. Yeah. Bars. Frat Fig dropping bars, dude. I don't want to get in career into the rap game.
So your money is your shadow that follows you. Especially if you're shooting golden hour, longer shadow, more bread because it's better photos. I don't know. There's like a jump there. I thought I had something. I was thinking about that for so long, dude. My brain hurts.
That's great. Next up, we got Jay Ford talking about how he got brought up on stage at Madison Square Garden with Sebastian Maniscalco. This story is so cool. Here you go.
How did that come about?
Instagram, bro.
No way. Did you DM him?
No, he DM'd me.
Shut up.
Yeah, bro.
So you're sitting at home, you just get a fucking DM from Sebastian.
No clue who it was. I'm like, Sebastian Maniscalco. And I kind of looked over it, and I'm like, oh, okay. He has a blue check, and I'll check it later. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, this dude, he seems pretty big. And I click, and I'm like, oh, he's huge. And I went on YouTube, and then I see Netflix thing. I'm like, oh, he's legit. And he asked me to shoot his show at the Forum. No way. And once I met him, he was like literally one of the coolest people in the world. And in that night, I met Leonardo DiCaprio.
No way. Cool. Were you doing photo and video? Or
I was doing photo and video.
Do you have a one that you prefer or no?
Video.
Okay.
Video. That's my bread and butter.
How do you decide in a big situation like shooting Sebastian? So you're dual wielding, right?
Dual wielding for sure.
So you have the Blackmagic 6K?
Blackmagic and then the R5.
And the R5. So take me through like an example of how do you pick in that situation?
You kind of just fill it out. Okay. Like, as you go, you're just like, all right, this will be a good moment for photo. All right, this will be a good moment for video, because like shooting a comedy show is it's pretty much the same shot every time. Yep. So it's like, all right, this is a good moment for video. He's being super animated. Let me get this on video. All right, now I got that. Let me chill out for a little bit. Let me get some photos. Okay. And yeah, bro. And it was the coolest thing. He loved the video I made the video that same night. I was like, yo, I can't lose out on this opportunity. Like, I just met Leonardo DiCaprio. Who else am I going to meet? And from there, I made the video that same night. He loved it, bro. He was like, yo, do you want to go on tour with me? And I'm like, what? And that's always been my dream, is to go on tour. And yeah, I went on tour with Sebastian.
No way.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Crazy. Best experience.
How long did you go on tour with him for?
We just did a New York run. So it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
And we hit every stadium in New York.
And then he just packs that whole
selling out everything, bro. Madison Square Garden, like breaking records. He's like biggest comedian to sell out tickets this fast, and selling out Madison Square Garden, the Barclays Center, Prudential Center. And these people and these fans are loyal, bro. Like wherever he went, we're in a restaurant, people are knocking at the window, and I'm like, yo, I've never experienced anything like this before. This is the coolest thing in the world. And he's just so smooth, bro. He's just so smooth, calm, and collected, and he doesn't think about that stuff too much. He's just like, yo, what's up? And he asks you questions about your life, and he was like, all right, this is the homie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And okay, I want to talk about Madison Square Garden, the fucking Mecca.
Yeah, the Mecca.
Was that a pinch me moment of getting to shoot something in Madison Square Garden?
Madison Square Garden. I'm in like the dressing room and stuff, and you see all the photos of all the legends that's been in there, and I'm like, yo, I'm really here right now. And like the biggest moment of all. So he sells out the whole thing. Like the floor is sold out. It's like there's no room left there. And he was like, Jay, come on stage. And I'm like, what?
Shut up. In MSG?
MSG, bro. He was like, yo, meet Jay for my photographer, videographer. And he was like, get a picture of us. And I'm like, oh my God. Because I was not expecting it. And I'm like, oh shit. And yeah, bro. And everybody started clapping. He put the phone lights on. And I'm like, yo, I'm doing what I love. This is like the coolest thing. Like from doing sorority videos to standing in the middle of Madison Square Garden with my name being announced from one of the biggest comedians in the world. I'm like, oh yeah, this is it.
This is what you're supposed to be doing.
This is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? I'm not faking it. I'm just doing what I love, and look what it led to.
Absolutely electric I can't even imagine being on the stage at MSG with.
It doesn't get bigger than that.
Dude, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about how in my work with photo video, I never have like a, oh my God, if I don't get this fucking shot right in this exact second, I'm fucked. But you guys both do that all the time. And it's like, Kostas, have you ever had a moment where they're like, let's take a like photo of all the crowd, and you're like, God, I hope the settings are fucking right? Like,
okay, so with
like I'll just take it back. I'll just say,
I have so much to say about this because so there'll be some times where I really have to edit the photo, the crowd photo specifically, because I'll have my settings of which I think is going to be what is going to look best, and then they'll be like, yo, turn all the lights on, like light up the crowd. I want to see this. And then it's like, oh, this photo's like fucking so blown out. So I have to like really bring it back to life. There's been times where like my shit's fucked up. Like literally the first time I shot with them, they were like, hey, get a photo of us in front of the helicopter, like right as we pulled up to EDC, flash and go off, missed a shot. Then another time with the flash, my fucking flash was broken.
Dude,
and we, they were like chopping up with Lil Jon. They're like, yo, get a photo. And I was like, this just didn't work. So there's been a couple times where I have fucked it up. I relate to him being like getting on stage and being like, holy shit, this is like, I'm doing what I love. I had that shooting EDC. I remember getting on stage for the first time and just thinking how many people were out there and being like, I cannot believe I'm here right now. This is crazy. And then on my birthday this year, they did their biggest show ever at Brooklyn Mirage. And I had never been to the Brooklyn Mirage. Insane venue. But you know, Sebastian's a little bit nicer of a guy. I thought they were going to give me like a full shout out, being like mid-show, being like, yo, hold on, stop the show. Let's sing happy birthday to our
everyone, stop what you're doing. Get out of the bathroom. There's a big moment going on.
So
I would have expected that. That would have been sick.
Dude, I also think it's a testament though. He said that he just DM'd him. Post your damn work. Post your work. You never know who's going to see your stuff.
Absolutely.
And that's just,
so true.
That's crazy. He's one of the biggest comedians in the whole world, and he started working with him off of a DM. Insane.
All right, this next one is Kyle Hauk describing taking like one of the more iconic photos that we've had out of the last, 5-10 years that like everybody saw. And it's just so crazy to think that he was the guy behind the camera in front of those crazy celebrities doing that crazy shit in the bathroom at the VMAs. How cool is that?
When we're in Brooklyn, the day before VMAs, Kels and Megan are like, hey, like we want to take this photo like on the street somewhere. It's going to be like her in this like see-through dress. And then she wanted to have a choker on and a collar, and he was going to hold it. And they're like, yeah, like we'll let you know when we're ready to take it. We'll go do it. It never ended up happening. We were just so busy and stuff. So then fast forward, we're at the VMAs and they're wearing their red carpet outfits and they look amazing. Hair, makeup, everything's done. And they're styled so well. And so they just say, yo, Kyle, can you come back here real quick? And we go back in the bathroom. Yeah, there's like these urinals, and he's like, yo, can you just take a picture of us here? Like that photo we were talking about. So I get my camera, my flash ready, and take the picture. And then, yeah, it was fun. I was like telling them, all right, now look at me. Okay, now look at each other. Now kiss, blah, blah, blah. And then it was funny too because there's like X's across the urinals, like don't piss in these urinals. And I was like, should I take these off? Like I'm gonna take them off. And he's like, no, don't take that off. That's sick as fuck. That's like little details. Though, like I think like sometimes I think maybe go for like a clean, aesthetically pleasing image. He's more like, well, why? It's kind of cool. Like they put that there. It's dirty. Like leave it. So took that picture, and then we're done for a second, and then Travis Barker and Kourtney Kardashian just walk in, prancing around, talking. Oh, sick! There's a Kardashian, dope. And then we're just hanging, and then he's like, "Yo, come back again." So we go in there and we take the photo again, the couple picture with both of them, and then I'm just capturing them in BTS shots, and then also we did the posed one there, and then those photos ended up getting posted on social media, and they went crazy.
Like broke the internet.
Dummy viral.
And the funny thing too is at first like there was no like tag for me or anything, so like no one knew that I took them, and so for the first like 12 hours like nothing, I just thought it was epic, and then they were popping off. Everyone was reposting their stories, and then I got tagged in there finally, and then the credit that I feel like was deserved and everything, and it was awesome. It really helped me out too. Like I had a lot of like news articles reaching out, and a lot of friends were like, whoa, like you took that? Like I didn't even realize. What the fuck? And now it seems to be like it'll be one of the more iconic images of this time period in life, which is cool.
Which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
What is
super lucky for that.
What is Megan Fox like? It's crazy that the moments and the places and the people you will interact with working in this line of work. Like sometimes you're like I remember when I went to China, like senior year of college, and I was like in these crazy rooms with these crazy rich Chinese people doing wild stuff. And I was looking at my camera. I just remember thinking like, this is what brought me here. Like this middle of nowhere in China in this crazy room drinking this fucking baijiu that's so good. And it's just like crazy. And like similar to like the Madison Square Garden, it's like the camera can bring you to some crazy moments, and it just will. And it's pretty cool to think about.
It really is.
Yeah.
I've experienced a lot of that this year, just being like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Same with you, dude. You've gotten to like watch so many Laker games live and see one of the best players of all time play like up close and personal. Like that is so cool. And your camera got you there.
Yeah.
I also think that when you're working with celebrities, specifically like musicians, one of the things that I've learned is you just got to have your camera ready at all times. Right. And those moments like in the bathroom of the VMAs, like the BTS stuff is what people like more than the actual show stuff, because they want to see what they don't have access to.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean that was one of the most iconic photos of 2022. Insane.
I think as a photographer or videographer, specifically photography, you want your moments to stand the test of time. Like you get to a point where you're like, okay, I've gotten good enough at my work. Now I want to start making art that like really resonates and matters and like is going to stand the test of time. And he got to take one of those photos. I've never taken a photo like that. Like that is insane.
Yeah, dude. I was just zoning. I was thinking about how Brady and I should have gone as them with Chloe and Lena and recreated that photo for fucking Halloween, and we missed it. Maybe next year.
Damn it.
That'd have been so funny.
That's great.
Get Chloe a black wig.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then I just love how Chase goes, so what's Megan Fox really like? He's like, I grew up on Transformers. And
we all want to know. Chase
really.
I'm a spokesperson for the people.
Yeah. Chase asks the important questions that we want to know.
Hard hitters.
Next up, we got our boy Aiden Minton, who also just made one of the most badass videos for Team USA in the World Cup.
Who got out of the group stage?
They got out of the group stage. Let's go.
That video he made was so cool.
Yeah, very cool. Let's check this out.
Shout out Roy Kramer, but my family's like good friends with his family, and so was like he's like the OG guy that got me into this stuff. Or at least he's the man that I think really allowed me to see that this was like a viable job option, if that makes sense.
Okay.
That's sick because he's the fucking OG.
Yeah,
he's
someone
who we all look up to.
Right. Roy's the GOAT. And I was like just starting out. I was in my senior year of high school. Didn't even own a camera. Maybe a GoPro.
You're like 17, 18?
18, yeah.
Okay.
And his brother, Terry, love Terry's the man, he came to my graduation party and he was like, yo, like he obviously knew I was a huge fan of Rory's, slid me. This is good advice I'd want not to do, by the
way. Great.
He slid me Rory's number. He was like, yo, like text Rory, like would love to, this is great. It's a great learning curve from relationships.
Okay.
And I'm like, literally the next day I'm like, literally the next day, I'm like, yo, Roy, like, love your stuff. Would always like love to link up or like work. I said something crazy, like, would love to like work on whatever. Dude, I had like zero anything made, like nothing.
Just
like,
the GoPro.
I think I
coming
had
out hot with the
I think I
GoPro.
had a travel video I made from like Cancun, of my spring break.
Just like,
And he was like,
just shaking
yo,
ass.
literally, I was like, I would love to like work with you or do something or what. I don't even know. And he responds.
Text. This is a text.
It's a text. It's
Hot
like
text.
Saturday, the next day after my graduation party.
Pete, my 6th spring break video. Let's work together.
He goes, do you have any work? I kid you not.
You sent the spring break video.
I send the link.
You're a beast.
No response.
Oh, left on red.
Yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. We met up years later for coffee, and it's full circle. I don't. God, I hope he doesn't. I think that thread is deleted. God bless. But
That's so funny.
So funny.
yeah. So
He probably has had a new phone since then, you know.
I hope so.
Change his number. That is hilarious.
That's
but
comedy.
But yeah, that's the thing is like people, you got to treat these people. And Rory so told me this himself. He's told me moments where he's been in the company of other people he's really wanted to work with. And, his work speaks for itself. He's the man. Like he could easily be like, hey, I've done this, I've done this. But he's told me, it wasn't the right time. You know, he was on a hike and, met someone he really wanted to work with. Didn't say anything about his job or anything. Just like super cool guy. And then he saw him later at a party and it was the right time. And someone introduced him, and which is way better than introducing yourself.
Totally.
And that's I think so important
You're
information.
so right, dude.
Love that.
I think that was a great story.
That's so funny. It just reminds me of this of a sound on TikTok that's going viral of Kris Jenner talking to I think Kendall, or she's like, what if you just called Taylor up Taylor Swift?
Right. Right.
Yeah, dude, just
call her up.
Yeah, let me just hit up Rory Kramer real quick and send him a video of my family vacation. Now we're gonna work together.
Right. Obviously.
And he obviously responded well.
Just ghosted him. We've said it on the podcast before. If you're gonna reach out, it's important to know when to reach out, because it's not always the right time. If you're trying to reach out to someone who you admire their work and want to work with them, you kind of have to be honest with yourself and say, hey, am I ready for this?
Totally, dude.
Because another thing we've talked about is when you get an opportunity, you want to be ready and you want to get on base. And sometimes you're not ready for the majors.
Yeah.
Straight up. You're still getting some ABs in college, or maybe you're in single or double A, but you're going to get called up eventually and get that AB, and you want to make sure you get on base. So you have to be honest with yourself. Am I ready for this? Should I go about reaching out to this person quite yet? Or should I hold off, work on my craft a little bit more, and then reach out?
Timing is everything,
100%.
dude.
Totally.
And I think it's so important, because it's I've for sure done this. And I remember hitting up people when I was starting, be like, oh, I didn't do this a ton, but I remember hitting up someone who was like, hey, do you want to work on a video together? Someone that's way above my shit. That was stupid. That was dumb. You don't hit up people to collab that are doing this professionally, that work all the goddamn time on this stuff. The last thing they want to do is someone random that they don't know, that they don't have any mutual connections with. The time will happen for you. It'll happen. You'll know it. You'll feel it. You'll be like, this is the right time to reach out to said person or comment on said thing that they did. You know what I mean? There's a very natural way that friendships and relationships build. It doesn't need to be something that's forced. And I think you'll save yourself those embarrassing moments and the moments of being left on red from knowing that's real. And now they're buddies. They've went out to coffee. They've hung out. It's really cool.
You only get one chance to make a first impression. So yeah, this next clip was a really cool moment, because it was the first time and only time it's ever happened on our podcast. Skylar, who moved from Indiana, was homeless, and now is a full-time successful photographer. He talks about when he was back in Indiana, writing stuff down while he's doing his forklifting job and manifesting what he's living now, and he has physical proof. So let's take a listen.
When I did my forklifting stuff, which was 2020, the year before I moved out here, I got really good at it, saw how easy it was, and quickly realized okay, I'm going to start slacking and focusing on other things that I want to be doing. And like, if you're working a shitty job, like make time for yourself. Because these people will try to get everything out of you. Stay overtime. Oh, 2 hours, you know, you double your money, whatever. No, fuck all that. Like literally, it doesn't matter. Like start doing shit like this. So like this whole folder these are all labels from forklifting. So instead of me doing my bullshit forklift job, which you should do, you know, there's obviously reasons why. I'm not trying to talk mad shit about people who forklift. I'm sorry, my dad's still there. But for somebody who has ambition and wants to do things, take labels like this, take anything that you can, if you're a construction, whatever it is, and write the ideas that you have down, because
that's sick.
All of these, dude, there's like so many, and there's like papers here too, and like this whole folder is everything that I'm doing now. That I manifested and talked about doing a year ago.
Writing it down, man. That's
making
important.
YouTube videos. I put it out. Get big on TikTok. I did. Well, not get big. Whatever. Make TikToks that were talking about what I was doing. Art. I started doing that. And like, there's like photo shoots on here that I've actually done.
Show the other side of the.
Yeah.
Well, like this.
No, like show the camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's where you're written.
Yeah.
So there's just like
on all these.
Hundreds and hundreds of just ideas, like, and dude, it's like they're not even like, not all of them are super in depth, but most of them are. Like this one says you do not need validation to create real art. So like, what was I even thinking in that moment? But now that I think about this has more reasoning now than it probably ever did before.
It's sick
insane.
That you held on to it too.
That's really cool.
I will frame these in every house that I ever own, because like, dude, I know there's kids out here who've seen this fucking stupid label.
Partial palette
Damage is true. Like, man, just make a plan and follow through with it and write the ideas that you want to do, because you'd be surprised in amount of time you'll be coming back to these and being like, damn, I did that without even looking at them.
That's sick, man. Thanks for bringing that. That's really cool.
Dude,
that's awesome.
This is my biggest proof.
Yeah, I love that.
Like of everything, like all the people, all the career stuff, like that's all great. But at the end of the day, it really matters is like executing the things that you want to do. I just can't stress it enough.
Dude, I think this is a true testament to setting your mind to something even when the circumstances aren't in your favor. I'm sure there's so many people out there that have had to work a job that they don't love, or right now are currently in a job that they don't love, and they're like dreaming of this time period when they have the freedom to do what they want. They're getting paid for their passion and they're out like working hard. And I think that him writing it down, physically seeing it, believing it, thinking about it 24/7, that's what got him out here to LA and doing this full time.
Totally, man. And he like just knew that there was a better life for him to be living, and he started writing it all down, which is so important to write it down, because then you're not just like, one, you're not just gonna ruminate into it, you like claim it. But it's also cool, I mean, to be with the kids, he kept the receipts, dude. He was like, this is when I was, working the forklift, and it's like, I knew I'd be able to fucking look back on these. And I'm sure he just kept that in his mind about him making money as a photographer, looking back at these and being proud of them. And it's just so cool that he brought them and like just has them still all together.
Manifestation just is so real. Are you guys sentimental with that kind of stuff? Like, do you guys keep things kind of maybe have something similar to him? Besides your boxes that you're never going to use of your cameras that you still don't throw away?
Well, that's just if I'm going to sell them.
True. Fair.
I don't think I have
receipts and boxes.
I don't know if I have anything sentimental, but I vividly remember I have like journal notes of what I was doing at said time in college, saying I will be doing this full time. This is what it's going to look like. These are the people I'll be working with. So like I wrote up the plan.
I have that too. I also have, like we all do, just early videos that sucked. That's cool to see though, because you're like, I was trying it, man. I was fucking going for it. Like I was making videos. They sucked, but I was doing it. And then you can kind of see how much better you got, which is fun too.
Yeah, we got the receipts.
Hell yeah.
All right, this next clip is our good friend Jack Cook talking about just making TikTok, making vlogs, and then being able to go to Stagecoach to make his vlogs, which is like country Coachella.
Last year, 100% of my income was just through like podcast clients, freelance clients, like people that I'm doing work for like on a weekly basis, and like random projects that would pop up. Now I'm actually starting to get deals and opportunities directly from TikTok.
Sick.
And those,
happy eggs.
Yeah, those opportunities are actually like more profitable for me. So I don't know exactly what I'm actually just still trying to figure it out. Like in 2 weeks, I'm going back to Stagecoach, and they reached out to me directly because they liked my TikToks.
Unbelievable.
And they just liked the vlogs. Like this was before I went to Coachella and like made all that content about it. They just liked the vlogs, and the person that liked them happened to rep Golden Voice and Instagram.
Oh my God.
So then like it's going to come directly from that. So I'm kind of starting to get more traction from TikTok, and then hopefully like that can lead to cool opportunities directly from TikTok.
Isn't that crazy though, dude? Because oh my God, a dancing app. I've told Kostas this like multiple times, but like we were making TikToks in our frat basement, hiding from everyone else so they didn't see us make these fucking TikToks because they thought it was cringy. Yeah, and they were gonna flame us. And I was like, no, we'll make them in the basement at 2 a.m. Anyways, flash forward almost a year, people are making full-time income. Some people are making millions of dollars on a dancing app.
Billions of trillions of dollars.
It's like the creator economy is huge. It's like only getting bigger. And now because of these fun videos that you made for fun, you potentially could make a full like income for a year, someone's salary job making videos that you just love to make. That's so cool.
And especially on TikTok, like your videos go out to like everyone. It doesn't have to be like Instagram where it's mostly just your followers. So you never know who's going to see your videos. And like I would never think that someone who saw the videos happened to like rep Golden Voice and Instagram and then would want to reach out to me for that opportunity. But if I wasn't making TikTok videos, then they would never even know that I could do that. You know what I mean?
Two things. One, you never know who's watching your stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude, I got an opportunity to shoot what I'm doing now for Loud Luxury because one of the guys in Loud Luxury was watching my TikToks and reached out to me. So like, one, you never know who's watching your stuff, but two, dude, you've been grinding. You're doing daily vlogs. Like,
it's insane.
If you are creating content, if you're listening to this and you're mad that you're not getting an opportunity off of making like a few videos, or like, I've been doing TikTok for a week or 2 weeks and not getting any views or whatever. That's like, you got to put in the time. It's like, you got to stay consistent. You got to put in the time. And like, eventually, if your content's good, and you'll get better the more you do it, the opportunities will arise.
The first 3 months that I was making videos, each video got like 200 to 500 views, like nothing really. And then because I think I was consistent with it, and each video gets like 1% better, I think. Like I started uploading my old ones to YouTube Shorts just to kind of like test it and see how it was. And I was watching like vlog 45 when I was uploading it, and I was like, this is terrible. Like, this is trash. My voiceover sounds bad. Like, the pacing's bad. Like, I don't have enough shots. Like, this is really bad. But I didn't realize that as I was making them daily. I didn't think they were really getting better because I'm just making them every day. But now I guess tomorrow will actually be 200 days in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Golf
then,
clap.
but they've gotten slowly a little bit better.
Dude, I just admire Jack's consistency.
Yeah.
Like the daily vlogs, and he hasn't missed a day. He's still going strong.
Such a grind.
I'm like, bro, how do you do that? Like for me, I'm like, yo, I'm real good like Monday through Thursday. As soon as like Friday afternoon hits, I'm like, it's the weekend. I don't really want to work all that much. Like, let me enjoy my Saturday, my Sunday. But imagine even on the weekends, every single day, like regardless of if you have like other client work or you're on vacation, he's still making those daily vlogs. And that's the reason why he's like gone to the place that he is.
Yeah, it's so cool too, because it's just like he started making them because he wanted to and no one was paying him to do it. He just wanted to make it and he kept doing it even though no one was fucking paying him. And then he started getting paid, which is so cool. And it just happens a lot. Like if you make the work that you want to make, eventually people will see it and realize how good it is because it's coming from you.
And he even touched on the fact that the deals that he's getting from TikTok are more lucrative than like the freelance stuff that he's doing.
Crazy.
So it like goes back to the point of the free stuff you make is going to pay you 10 times more in the future.
Double down on yourself, baby.
How important was making those videos when you were first starting out, the spec pieces for your career?
I think honestly, I've gotten all the jobs, like the highest paying jobs I've gotten from has been jobs that I've made for fun.
Every
There
time.
it is. Every time.
Dude. Every
Like
fucking time.
I think the video I made, I remember this. Sam saw I made a Michael Jordan video because The Last Dance was coming out, and I made like this super sick edit. That's the one he saw that led to all this. I remember I did a music video for Google, which is like big budget whole thing. I remember when I was in Yosemite filming something, and I remember my brother texted me and he was like, "Oh, like we just landed a job with Google." And then I was like, "Oh, that's kind of sick." And then he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna do the video. Here's the brief they sent." I look at the link and they're like, "This is the inspo for it." The inspo was I made an avocado video, like literally a video about like how avocados like are like representative of so much stuff, like having like a rough like exterior, soft interior, this whole thing. It was literally just like this funny like thing. And that was the inspo for the video.
Wow,
Did they know
crazy.
you made the video?
Yeah, they knew I made the video.
Oh,
like,
they knew you made it.
yeah, so they were like, they saw that video and they were like, this avocado video is the inspo for the music video. We want them to do it. And I was like, and I remember I was with Sam shooting in Yosemite, and I was like, dude, they just sent my avocado. He's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you just landed this big ass job with Google and you just, because of an avocado
Dude,
video.
that's so sick.
That's incredible.
Ideas without action mean nothing. You gotta go do it, man. You gotta go do it. He made all these cool spec pieces, and we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times, dude. You gotta make the pieces that you want to get paid to make.
Right. And just like you said, just like having the idea, not actually shooting him, editing him, putting in the fucking grind because you have other shit going on, is like, that's what you need to be doing. And it's just so cool that he made this fucking video for fun, and then Google was like, we want you to recreate that for us.
Insane.
So cool. Yeah. And just like make stuff that you're passionate about. It also just keeps you stoked about making videos and stuff because it's fun to make your own ideas.
Dude, the difference between amateurs and rocks is the rocks get the ideas and they go execute them.
Totally.
And the amateurs just sit on the couch and like, one day I'll make said project.
Right.
Also really cool that he found out that he got the job from Google in Yosemite.
Sure. Just a flex. Yeah.
So much cooler than finding out like
Just
on
like
the couch
on
or some
the
shit.
shitter, you know?
Speaking of being on the shitter,
Sure.
I had to delete Be Real. I know this is so random. 3 days in a row, I was taking a morning shit and the Be Real went off. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I'm just always late. And if I post like once a week, and I only do it if I'm doing something cool, which is why Be Real is broken. I'm like, oh, maybe I will post a Be Real. This is actually pretty sick.
I also think that because we're living in a time right now where it's like hacks to go viral or like how to gain 10,000 followers in 1 month, whatever, like all that like get rich quick schemes, whatever,
Right.
like they're not sustainable.
Right.
There's
Look at FTX,
there's no
yeah.
substitution for like hard work and just like putting in the time and being
Right.
consistent.
Right.
Like FTX.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
But no, seriously, like everybody's talking about putting in the work, making stuff you're passionate about, and just like putting in the hours and the results will come. There's no secret sauce. The secret sauce is putting in your 10,000 hours and that's it.
Just fucking grind.
Do it as frequently as you can. You'll be tough to beat. Next up, we got our man, Tucker Doss.
It just describes basically like moving your instead of being so goal oriented, moving your progress bar and your day-to-day life and habits forward like 1% every single day, as opposed to making these big moves. And I thought like it hit so hard for me when I read that, because I was wanting to make these moves that you notice for yourself, like this big progress, like here I am, and then I want to get 1 million views and 2 million views and whatever, and create this huge video, and I want people to notice, and I want myself to notice that I made progress, as opposed to focusing more on just like the little things that move you closer to that goal, and then create like this habit of like, being able to work and productively and not just focus on this huge thing.
It's also really easy with social media where you can quantify it with a legitimate number. So you can like have a specific goal of like, if I hit 1 million views, like great, check that off and I can quantify it, as opposed to like doing something that might not seem very significant on an everyday basis. But if you stay consistent with it, you look back in a few months or whatever it may be, a certain amount of time, you're like, oh, I have made progress, but maybe I didn't realize that at the time.
Right. And even if it's not about the numbers, like even if you don't see that progress that you wanted, it's more like you still got a ton from what you'd learn in the process of creating the habit of putting in the work to create something and challenge yourself every single day, because that will easily apply to anything. I think the more, like, there's no secret to success with any of this stuff on social media or anything, any aspect of life. Like, it's all going down to how hard you work at it, like no matter what. Like, you can literally, I am such a strong believer in the fact that you can do anything in this world that you want to. It's just about the effort that you put into it, and it's super important to realize that, for sure.
chop wood, carry water. You got to fall in love with that pursuit of going after whatever goal, whatever thing it is that you're going after. Dude, Tucker, 1% better. If you do something every single day, you're going to get better at it. And we've said it so many times.
Totally, because it's crazy that we were just talking about how there is no secret sauce. You just got to work hard. And then we were just reminded that. I mean, I totally forgot even what he said in that clip. And it's just so true before we talked about this. It's like, you just got to put a little bit more in every day. And eventually you're going to be doing so much and getting so far.
I also think we've all gone through the time where it's like January 1st rolls around, you set in your goals, or 10 p.m. rolls around and all of a sudden you get this jolt of energy. You're like, I'm turning my life around. And you get motivated, right? And you maybe do something and have a great day. You're like, today's the day I'm changing the rest of my fucking life. And you stay consistent. You wake up early, you work out, whatever. You do all these things that are going to get you closer to your goal. And then maybe the next day you're still consistent with it, but then like eventually you fall off. Mike Tyson was on Joe Rogan and he said, discipline is doing things you hate as if you love them, or something along the lines of that, which is so true. It's like the things that are going to get you closer to your goal, you're not always going to be motivated and want to do every day, but like if you can just force yourself to do them, even if you don't think you're making progress, that's what's going to get you closer to your goal. And the last clip we have is just me and Frat Fig over here going viral, talking about network is your net worth. So let's take a listen to this viral moment.
I really do think that the pod's going to be great for us to make new friends
100%.
and meet new people. And it's important, dude, because your network is your net worth. And
say that again.
Your network is your net worth.
Come on, baby.
Because you got to lean, when you get a job, when you get a bigger job for the creators listening, when you get a bigger job, you can't do it by yourself. And you can't do it with 3 people. You can't do it with maybe 5 people. You might need 10 or 15 people. And having a good network of people that you trust and can lean on really will help you just make more moves, meet 100%. More people. It'll trickle down to all aspects of your life.
If you're in school, man, it's not about the grades you make. It's about the hands you shake.
Ooh, we're just dropping a lot of baby. Come on, shit. Your network is your net worth.
Come on, give it to me, baby.
Also, back when the sign lit up too, looking good back there.
Forgot about that good old sign.
I mean, that's just true, man. Your network is your net worth, man. You just make so much money on knowing people and putting them in the right places.
It's all about who you know.
I think one of the biggest reasons I love this podcast is because it allows us to network in a way that like I wasn't able to a year ago. Granted, most of the people that we've had on this pod, we've had some sort of relationship with prior. But someone like Jack Cook, who we had never met, and we are able to like welcome them into our apartment, have them on the pod, have an incredible like 45-minute to an hour-long conversation. I just like, this is one of the biggest reasons why I love having the podcast. It's like most people that we ask for like, hell yeah, I'll come on the pod.
Right. Yeah, it's just so cool to meet people, hear their stories, and it's always like so intimate and such like a good way to get to know someone, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even wait for all the cool guests to do this again next year and
season 2.
Dude, season 2 is gonna hit, and I cannot wait, man. I want to just give a shout out to both of you for being on this.
And
I think
both
that
of you.
guys,
Jesus Christ.
you guys have we've all stayed so consistent. I'm just really happy with the progress that it's made in this awesome community of people that we've brought together from all around the world.
And the messages that we've been getting. I swear, me and Brayden, we were talking about how like in our group chat we were like, bro, we like helped like 3 kids this morning who sent us messages. Just like sent them they were asking for advice and we were just like able to help them, and that feels so good.
Yeah.
And then we've been getting other messages of kids being like, you literally changed my life, and it's really hard to process that
or like
over a
take
message.
it in at all. But it's cool, and it's, I don't know, it's just like it's a special little thing. So yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff maybe around that planned for season 2, you know?
Just have to stick around and wait.
We love the rocks. We are going to be signing out for season 1. This is episode 50 of the 505 podcast. We will see you all in season 2. Peace.
Bye.